Hello, hello everyone. Happy Wednesday. If you are not new, welcome back. If you are new, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the party. Let's have some fun. So I just wanted to hop on really quick to talk about Marvel's What If episode 3. Favorite episode thus far. My favorite episode thus far. I actually felt suspense. There were stakes. Okay, and this is stuff that I don't usually experience with the MCU as of recent, right? Um, Characters were fleshed out, they were characterized better here than in the MCU. Like, so this episode was essentially what if the Avengers were picked off one by one and they were never formed? What an interesting premise. So I'm already hooked on that alone. And I didn't read the synopsis or anything like that. I went into this totally blind. So I was immediately intrigued. And then the episode was going and going and going and Iron Man was knocked out first. I was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa." Then who was next? Then it was Thor via Hawkeye. Then Hawkeye himself. I said, "Oh, they're really knocking him out." I was actually clued into the mystery. I want to know who did it. I want to know how. And I was like that all the way up till I figured out who it was. And then that was near the end of the episode. Um, it was great. It was absolutely great to me. The Black Widow that we had in this 30-minute segment was the Black Widow that we deserved throughout the entire MCU. I will never forgive the MCU for dropping the ball on her as bad as they did in terms of characterization, exposure, all of that. Because how they had her here, this is what I wanted from Black Widow. This is the Black Widow that I wanted. She is cunning. She is a badass. She is fiercely loyal to herself, first and foremost, because during this episode, she's trying to clear her name of murder, right? And she's loyal to S.H.I.E.L.D. Really Fury, but you get what I mean. And she gets to the bottom of this case of who is picking off the Avengers, and it is just so glorious. And she kicks ass. What more can I ask for? She is a Russian assassin. You get that from just this 30 minutes. It was awesome. But enough about Black Widow. Um, like I said, there were actual stakes, and when we find out who the killer was, which was Hank Pym, who was Yellow Jacket in this universe, I was like, oh shit. And this was all done because of his daughter, Hope, who died as a Shield agent. So he took revenge on Fury by knocking out his recruits. It was crazy. Then we had Loki there who was working with Fury. And of course, he ends up taking over the entire planet after the fact. Of course. Of course, it's Loki. Um, but it was great. It felt it was I love the MCU when it's grounded. I really do. So that might have been a contributing factor as to why I enjoyed this episode so much. Um, Rating, I would probably give it a 9 out of 10. Yeah, definitely a 9 out of 10. And let me tell you, Nick Fury stood out for me this episode amongst other people. I'm so glad that they utilized him as much as they did because he's not utilized that not that much in the MCU, not really. After the Avengers, he fell off quite a bit. And then they almost nerfed him when it came to Captain Marvel. So I'm glad that we get this time in this episode for him to shine and prove why he is the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., why he is Nick freaking Fury. Okay. Um, So that was great. When he went up against Hank Pym, just so much fun. So much fun. There's not really much I can say. Black Widow just stood out to me. And also the Hulk. Yeah, he stood out to me as well. His death was vicious. um, but yeah, I don't really have much else. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And I'll catch you later. Bye.